One of the most important ideas in this book is the idea of concepts. Concepts. And this blew me away, the idea of concepts. So, let me try to explain. You get a much better explanation in Anthony Demello's book, Awareness. So, hey, how are you doing? It's Alan here from Look for Warriors, and I'm reading Anthony Demello. One of the most concepts, it's awareness. I think it's Awareness by Anthony Demello. One of the most important ideas, I almost said one of the most important concepts, but one of the most important ideas in this book is the idea of concepts. Concepts. And this blew me away, the idea of concepts. So, let me try to explain. You get a much better explanation in Anthony Demello's book, Awareness. So, this is just me trying to recall what he said and try to explain it my own way, which is just helping me learn what he's saying. So the idea of concepts, he talks about when you are a small child and you see a bird and you see this little furry creature flapping around and so much life in it, and you're watching this little furry creature moving around, and you can see every little bit of that bird. You can see the detail in its wings. You can see the life in its eyes. You can see how this bird moves around, and there's a life inside of this bird. And then the bird disappears, flaps its wings and flies up into a tree. Wow. Incredible. Incredible. Bird's just doing its thing. But the beauty is in the looking. Beauty is in the looking. Beauty is in seeing. Beauty is not in any things. The beauty is in seeing the item. And it's the same when you're a small child and you see a leaf. You see a leaf with bubbles of water sitting on the leaf. You touch it and you feel the water flowing off, dropping onto the ground. It's like when you're a small child and you get a orange for the first time, and the skin gets peeled off for you, and you see it, there's like 12 segments, and you pull a segment out. You take one segment out and you put that segment in your mouth and bite into it, and on the side of your tongue and on the back of your tongue you get this citrusy experience. And then you swallow the juice down and the rest of the orange. But when you're looking out and you see that bird, and an adult comes to you and says, that's a bird. That thing you're looking at is a bird. That thing you've eaten is an orange. That's an orange, segment of orange. Suddenly, you get the concept of bird. The concept of bird. So, what Anthony Demello says is, as soon as you get that concept, you never ever see a bird again. And the child is looking at the window and he sees another bird flying down, and he sees it. Oh yeah, that's a bird. I've seen that before. I'm bored of birds now. I've seen that before. But they're seeing the concept of bird. They've never actually seen a bird again. They will never see a bird again. And I'm reading this and I'm getting a little bit blown away by the concept. I know. I'm going to say this, and I know that 99% of people who see this video are going to be like, Alan, what are you talking about? Alan, what are you talking about? But there's going to be one. There's going to be one who's like, wow, yeah. And Anthony Demello says that as well. Most people just don't get it. So, I'm listening to Anthony Demello and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go and walk in the woods, and I'm going to try to throw in some video. I took a little bit of video when I was walking in the woods, and a couple of pictures. I'm going to try to throw them in this video so you can see what I was seeing. And I tried to walk up in the woods and look at the trees in the woods forgetting the concepts. And what Anthony Demello says is, if we can see these things again as adults, while we're able to drop the concepts and see the individual unique thing in front of us, to see the leaf with the droplets of water on it, see how unique and different it is, and see the bird. And as I was walking, I saw a little squirrel. Well, a little squirrel was on the ground, obviously collecting food or something, and he sensed me. And that's why I saw him, because if he hadn't moved, I wouldn't have seen him. But he sensed me, and as soon as he sensed me, this is why I saw him, he ran and he ran to the tree, and he ran up the tree as if he wasn't going vertical, as if he was just running on the ground. He ran up the tree as if it was the ground, and ran to a branch. I could see him, and then he disappeared into the leaves. I couldn't see him anymore. And I tried to look at that squirrel while forgetting the concept of squirrel, the name of squirrel. Just watching it like it was a little furry, full of life creature. This amazing little furry, full of life creature that scampers, and how it can run vertically up a tree as if it was just running through the forest. Incredible. And see the life in its eyes, and see the life in its legs as it runs, and the force, the life force inside him. And I walked through these woods, and I tried to walk through the whole woods, looking at the trees and the leaves. And when you zoom out and see a tree with the hundreds of thousands of leaves, far away, it's just like one thing. All the hundreds of thousands of leaves just become one thing. You see it far away, and there's a beauty, and you can see the tree. It's all green, and then it has white flowers coming out between. There's a real beauty, and there's incredible beauty in it. And I wasn't even in a great woods. I was in a woods as close to my house that I could walk to. And I live in one of the most beautiful counties in the absolute world. I live in Wicklow, where you can get to Glendalough, like some of the most incredible landscapes, some of the most beautiful places, the Sally Gap, some of the most beautiful places in the world. And I didn't even go there. I didn't go to those beautiful places. I went to a woods close to me, boring woods, tiny little woods that I can walk through. And I thought about Anthony Demello, and I tried to look at the trees and the leaves without having the concept of tree or leaf, and seeing them, seeing the beauty. And I could feel it. I'm gonna say it. I could just feel it. I could feel a feeling right down me as I was taking that beauty in, right down along my, not your spine, your front, I don't know what it's called, chest, right down your chest. I could feel it, from your chest to your belly. I could feel it. I could feel that beauty. And I feel the power of a tree. It's the power of a tree sucking up the energy out of the earth and into the leaves. And I could see that. And I try to remember, when I'm in these places, in these beautiful places, I try to remember what Anthony Demello said: forget the concept. Forget the concept of lake. Forget the concept of mountain. And try to see the individual thing that's in front of you right now. As the same with human beings. When people are depressed, people are bored, because they're not seeing the thing anymore, not seeing the person anymore. Every single person is a complete adventure if you really see them and get to know them. If you really see difficult, complex, interesting person in front of you. Every single person is a huge adventure. You would not have enough lifetimes. If you lived 100 lifetimes, you would not have enough time to get to know even 1% of the people on the planet, if you really wanted to know them. And it's just like people who say, oh, I've seen the whole world, but they haven't. They've just stopped at every town, every city. They've stopped in every city, but they've never seen a thing. They've never seen anything. They haven't seen the world. They haven't experienced. They've gone to India. They haven't seen how the people live. You haven't got to know one person. They've been to China. They don't know anything about the culture. They've just stopped in Beijing and stopped somewhere else and stopped somewhere else. It's not really seeing the world. You can see the world without going more than 5k from your house. You can have an adventure and see the world without going more than 5k from your house. And Anthony Demello says this is when you're a child, you're in the Garden of Eden because you don't have concepts. And you're given concepts, which takes you out of the Garden of Eden. You're not in that place of wonder anymore. You've lost that place of wonder. But, and I'm saying this all wrong, so you listen to Awareness by Anthony Demello if you're interested in this. I'm saying it all wrong, but I'm saying it the way I get it. And what he says is you've got to re-enter the Garden of Eden. You've got to get back into that place of wonder where you drop the concepts. You don't know the concepts anymore. But a leaf is an adventure for you. Because you've dropped the concept of leaf, the name of leaf. Or a tree, or a squirrel, or whatever. You drop the name. And you look at the unique item, thing, or individual in front of you. And you get to know what that is. Now, and he says that's how you re-enter the Garden of Eden on this earth. But not as a child. Now you have the productivity and the excitement and the I want to say intelligence, but it's not really intelligence, but the drive. And I guess you could say intelligence or experience of a man. But you're in that same place of wonder of a child. And when you drop the concepts, and I'll make other videos on this. This is not doing justice to what Anthony Demello says. But when you drop the concepts, you're back into this place of wonder, back into the Garden of Eden again. So I'm not doing Anthony Demello justice. I will do another video and another video and another video in the future as I understand this more and more and more and more. But just the idea of dropping concepts from Anthony Demello, absolutely incredible. I'll leave a link under this video. Probably won't. Probably won't. But you can search Anthony Demello Awareness on Amazon. Or in Audible or wherever you want to get it. If I remember, I'll put a link under the video. It's been Alan here from Look for Warriors. Talking about Anthony Demello Awareness.